Hi, I guess we're live. I'm just gonna wait and see if a couple more people come on. It looks like there's somebody here already. Uh, Love to know who's here if you want to chat in. This morning I was inspired, and I just am wanting to do a Friday afternoon reset with some of the inspiration that I got. So let me just set up here because I have to show you the transits of the sun and the earth. Okay. It's interesting. I see two people on. Hi, Dorothy. Yay! Good timing. Yeah, I picked up the phone and here I am. Today I actually set it up this morning. So um, I know I just sometimes spontaneously get on, and I saw that there were four people on, and then two people jumped off. And I noticed from watching some other people's live streams that sometimes the count isn't accurate. So, if you want to be greeted, counted, heard, whatever, chat in, because these are at this point very intimate gatherings. So I welcome those of you who are here. And of course, these spontaneous live streams are very much a little shorter than our meet and greets. But I was what inspired me today was I've been taking a class by the ladies over at Support Your Design. They're big gene keys, human design, energy worker women, big, powerful, beautiful energies that are collaborating, and they have a membership program, but they offered a course called Amplified Attraction. And if you following your hologenetic profile, they were working with us on the attraction sphere in the hologenetic profile, which is your I should have this. I should know this, right? Because I've been doing human design and bridging that with the gene keys for years now, and I'm still like it's all still new every single time I. Hi, Angelica. Good to see you. Yeah, so it's this one. If you have your hologenetic profile, and I'll put a link down here when I get off for the Gene Keys site if you're interested in that. This is like the next evolution of understanding some key gates in your human design chart that show you developmentally what you're working on, what you're programmed to work with in this lifetime. And the attraction sphere is really the one that is about what you're here to attract, or how you can align with yourself in a way where you can attract more. So that's what I've been working on. I'm a big believer in the necessity to do your own work when you are working with other people. So I support what Ashley and Bella and Melinda are doing over at Support Your Design, because they've given me an avenue to do my own work, to go more deeply into my design, and more deeply into and activating some of the things in that translate from that in my hologenetic profile. And if you're working with people, I highly recommend that you find someone, or at least even intermittently some things that you can do for yourself to go deeper into understanding yourself, and shifting and healing and changing those things that can be shifted, so that you can bring more of you into your work and into the world. So these little live streams that we do are kind of my intermittent version of that, my spontaneous version of assisting you in doing what you need to do to do your own work and to align more deeply with who you are on that energetic level, regardless of where you are with understanding your chart, with whether you've never heard of the gene keys or whatever. These are just my tools that I use. And I was speaking with a client yesterday. We were talking about modalities and how modalities are the cart that brings the food to you so that you can eat. And a lot of times people get caught up with trying to eat the cart and they can't consume the food on the cart. So, it's really good to remember if you're specializing in any kind of modality, whether it's Reiki or human design or um, some other healing method or some kind of coaching method or whatever it is, that's the cart for the food that you're bringing to your people. So my cart is human design, and how I understand that through and how it evolves. My understanding evolves through my study of that, and it incorporates all kinds of things and things that from my experience and from the gene keys and all of that. So just remember that the cart is is not the food. So, and even in your own work, the cart, the modality that you're working at to activate you is not the food. The food is what you get off of the cart. That's not what I was actually going to talk about today, but just felt inspired to share that. What I really wanted to talk about was, or share with you today, is some reminders that I got from the last module of the course that I was taking with these ladies at Support Your Design. They were talking about the transits that are in now, and I love this transit because it's so powerful. And I'll tell you and I'm talking about the Sun and the Earth transit of the gate 1. Can you see that through the glare there? The gate 1 that comes off of the top of the G center, and the gate 2 that comes off of the bottom of the G center. Now, the gate 1 is about individual creative self-expression, and the Sun is in the gate 1 right now, and the gate 2 is about receptivity. And I did a video about this a couple of years ago, so I'll definitely post that to give you some more background on the power of this transit. But when we were talking about it yesterday, what I was reminded of is that this is very much about the integration of the yin and the yang. And in respect to what we were talking about or working with during that course and working with the attraction sphere, we did a lot of work around integrating the masculine and feminine energies within us. And that is what is here in a sense to support us this week, the masculine being the gate 1, the yang, and the feminine being the gate 2. And as I was meditating on this, what came out was that I am learning to be patient with my self-expression and to be receptive to life's direction. And this is expressed here. Here's this self-expression, and part of that is that these two gates are also in the individual circuitry. So there's a sense there of melancholy. So if you've been feeling kind of down, and if you've got an undefined G like I do, and maybe you don't have the gate 1 defined, I deal with this all the time, I guess, because I have that as a dormant potential because it's on my undefined G center. But there can be a sense of not knowing what your direction is, not knowing what direction to take, in that yang sense of experience of I've got to take a direction, I've got to be active, about the direction I take and not really being very clear about that if you're undefined. Even if you're defined, in this time, when the gate one is the sun is in the gate one, it can illuminate that theme for you, and it can really illuminate the your own consideration around what kind of needs to be torn down so that you can move in a new direction, move into the direction of your authentic self-expression. And then with the gate two, there's also melancholy within this whole individual circuitry. The gate two is that receptivity. It kind of turns on, it's the key that sort of turns on the G center, turns on the magnetic monopole, opens you up to the magnetism in your heart, so that you can be receptive and attractive, or attracted to those things that are truly meant for your path. So, so I love this time because I love the symmetry of the image on the body graph, first of all. And I love the fact that it is an opportunity to be illuminated to the considerations of your own individual self-expression and what actions may come from that along down that line. And it's also a time when we can really be grounded in our own, in the yin of the receptivity. So I was looking through my Gene Key book for just a little bit more to build this in for you, and I write my own revelations in my book. So never mind never mind what Richard Rudd said over here, but here's my revelation about the gate too. And this is part, for me, it's part of my own contemplation of what these energies mean for me, what it brings up for me. So one thing that I came across with this gift of magnetism in the G center in the gate 2 is, I wrote here that receptivity opens you to your unique magnetism that brings about synchronicity and enlivens your unique creative direction. So that magnetism that you experience through the two, through the theme of the two, and then that creative self-expression that you experience through the one is very, very powerful. But first you have to be receptive. You have to be receptive and grounded in receptivity, because that yang, that I've got to take my individual path. I've got to express myself in my own unique way. That's all of that activity where you're putting energy out there. But what fuels you, what really turns your heart magnet on, is the receptivity. So I wanted to take some time today to kind of ground that sense of receptivity in our bodies, maybe in our awareness. So if you're here and you want to get comfortable, if you're not driving, get really comfortable. You can come back to this too as well if you want to work with this sense of receptivity. So go ahead and come into your body. And while you're doing that, I just remembered that I made some notes months ago that are pertinent to this particular live stream. So while you're doing that, I'm going to find those notes. It's funny how this stuff kind of comes in pieces. And I didn't know why I wrote it down, but it was for this particular point in time. So go ahead and just get comfortable, relax, take some deep breaths, shake off whatever you are, shake off the yang and the energies that are kind of throwing you perhaps out of balance a little bit, or just shake off the week basically with your breath. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, that's a piece of it there. So keep breathing. I'm still looking for this. There's so much in here. Okay. Let's see if there's another piece here. And while you're breathing, just let that grounding cord move down through your spine, through your torso, down through the base of your pelvis, your feet, and your legs. And then just allow it to ground you into the earth. Feel your connection from your feet right into the center of the earth. Okay, this is it right here. And as you get centered with your roots in the earth, move your awareness into that chamber within Mother Earth's heart that contains your data and information of your life and what you set up for yourself here, and all of your experiences that have gone before, perhaps in other lives, in your ancestral experiences, all of that. I like to see it as a crystalline cave. Move your roots right in there so that you have a connection to that energy and that information. And then on your inhales, bring that energy up through your roots, your legs and your feet, your pelvis, all the way up your spine, your torso, your chest, your neck, your head, and through the crown of your head. And as you breathe and inhale again, exhale and inhale again, you're opening up the top of your head to bring in or create an opening and a connection with your higher self. Allow that connection with your higher self to move down into you and into your core, and even into your roots through your legs and feet, so that there is this sense of suspension between heaven and earth. This is a very important understanding, or at least an understanding that I got from studying these two gates as they are understood in the I Ching, of heaven and earth, being suspended between heaven and earth in our direction as humans in life. So keep breathing and keep feeling that suspension and that groundedness, where our roots are not only grounded in the earth, but they're also grounded in the heavens. So what we're doing here is just creating a clear space within your energy field. So as you move this energy back and forth and feel your connection, your suspension as between your heavenly awareness, your higher self awareness, and your earthbound human awareness, take a little scan of your body and your energy field. And just allow yourself to be informed of anything at this point that needs to be released, needs to be torn down, as is an expression in the gate one, needs to be needs to fall and shed, so that you can get more clear in your field. And as you do that, this creates a space for those pieces of yourself that are maybe floating out, where you've put your attention on other people, on outside circumstances. It's creating a space for those pieces to come back. So as you inhale and exhale deeply, call back those pieces. This is a great time to do that at the end of the week, to call back all of those pieces that of yourself that you may have accidentally left behind in your week. And let them settle into those open spaces where you released things that are no longer part of you. Now bring your hands to your heart. This is where we get to steady our heart. Steady that place that is known as the G center on our human design chart. And we are going to call in that support from the heavens and the earth to be present with us here in each of our hearts. So you can imagine this, if you're visual, of the as the energy coming down from your higher self into your heart space, and the energy coming up from the earth into your heart space, all culminating and integrating into this place where your magnetism exists. So now that we are here in this heart space, let's set some yang energy by saying out loud some I am affirmations. This brings the energy out so that we can kind of see it. So let's just start by saying out loud, I am, and feel that resonate within this heart space, in your heart space. I am. Feel it filling up your heart space. Maybe it overflows into your aura, into your environment. Feel the power of establishing yourself. I am. And you can add on to that if you like. You can just stay with I am, or you can add on to that, I am worthy because I am. I am worthy because I am. That brings in a little bit of the will center energy, the willpower energy. And then you can try, I am loved because I am. Or even, I am love because I am. And feel how that kind of builds power. Feel a sense of power inside of you and in your energy field. And it's this real stability of expression. You can add, let's see, what wants to be added here? I express my direction. I express my direction. And try to feel that as a being state rather than a doing state. What does it feel like to be in the expression of your individual direction without having to do anything about it? I am my individual expression. I am my individual expression. So you can feel how that energy builds, right? So, the thing about building the energy and putting it out there is that it needs support. It needs the foundation that or at least that's how I see it, with the two being down here and the one being up here. It's almost a visual representation of the support that grounds your expression, that gives your expression a springboard, that gives your expression and your magnetism the energy uh, for you to be your individual self-expression. So the next thing we're going to do is to work with building or connecting with being more receptive. So take a deep breath. You may want to bring your hands down maybe a little lower, like down into the lower part of the heart center there. If you want to have more of a palpable sense of the visual gate to receptivity. And breathe into that area of the lower heart center. And how it can receive the fire of the sacral, the fire of action. Even if you have an undefined sacral center, you still have an experience with that from time to time, given who you're around and what's going on in the transits. So, this is the universal fire of action that sort of boils up and moves up from the sacral center, from our lower area, from our solar plexus, that power center of the solar plexus chakra, that fire moving up. And just breathe through that. And imagine that you're opening the valve of where the gate to would be, opening the valve, using the fuel, turning on the magnetism, turning on the energy here as you open the valve, so that fuel can come into your heart and really open it up. So as you do this, if you're more auditory in the way that you work with your energy, you can say out loud, I receive. I receive the fire of creation. I receive. And as you are putting yourself in this receptive mode, make sure your feet are on the ground, that you're really feeling grounded and solid in this acknowledgement of receptivity. I receive. You can say, I am receiving, or I am receptive. I am receptive. So now that you've opened up the yang of your expression and the fuel, turned on the fires to receive, feel that I am that you're putting out there. Move that energy of I am, because I exist. I am. Moving out the right side of your body through your right hand. And this receptivity energy moving out through your left hand. So I am an individual self-expression. I express myself. That can be the verb of the action. I express myself. And I receive with the left. I express and I receive. So breathe through your heart center and just imagine streams of light moving through and activating both aspects of this yang and yin that you embody, that magnetize, that are part of your magnetic resonance. And you can bring that yin and yang together if you are sensitive to energy in your hands. And you can even create a ball of creation, a ball of energy. And then move into that ball with your attention and drop an intention within it. An intention for how you will take your next step upon your path. That may be a feeling intention. I intend to feel enlivened. That's my intention. I intend to feel focused on my next step. I intend to feel empowered. So say out loud any intentions as though you were putting them into this energy ball. And remember to breathe. This is not hard work here. Relax into it. When you have your intentions in your ball, I was going to say let go of it, but what I'm feeling guided to do is to bring that energy back down into the body. So you can put your hands over your crown and just guide that energy right down through you, all the way down into the earth. And it seems, my perception of this is that the energy builds and there's even a bigger, stronger ball because you've integrated it through your system. And with a big inhale and a big exhale, let that ball move out into those unseen spaces of all possibility. Take another big, deep breath. Knowing that you have grounded yourself in receptivity, you have set your yang intentions, you have grounded yourself in your yin. It is all working together within you at this point, and that there is nothing else at this point that you need to actively do to be magnetic in this moment. And then come back into your body and into your space. So, as you move through your weekend and circulate this energy through you and stay perhaps in this more balanced, receptive balance between receptivity and action state, as the transits are supporting us in that. Be open to any kind of inspired action, inspired insights, and things that you may want to write down or make note of. And it may come in the form of informing you about who you truly are, who you are at your very core and your nature, even beyond the understanding of your blueprint, of your human design blueprint, who you are on that soul level. And you may even see in your environment who you're not. You know, when you're having maybe a challenge over the weekend, or a misunderstanding, if you have a misunderstanding with someone, you know, let that show you where you are in terms of, you know, when you're feeling those challenges, when you're feeling that resistance, it's that indication that you're not really acting as your fully empowered self. You're not acting in a way that is, your behavior is not a reflection of who you are when you are the highest version of yourself. And if you run into those things, you know, take that time to retreat, take that time to release and clear and steady your heart and attune yourself to be receptive and to receive the fire of a new creation, and allow that to come out of your own individual expression. This is a time, like I mentioned in the beginning, where you can feel uh, you know, that melancholy of the individual circuitry, and know that that is fuel for creativity, and perhaps fuel for aligning more to who you truly are, into the power of that. So that is all that I have here to share with you today. If you like these kinds of things, and you aren't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment about your experience, I invite you to do that. And if you want to get notifications, like sometimes these YouTube videos kind of get lost in the shuffle and you may not see them, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm on, or know when I'm coming on, or any of those things, or you get my next video. So have a wonderful weekend. As always, when we're doing this kind of self energy work, this alignment and attunement that is designed to shift you into a more elevated state, it's really important to stay hydrated. So go get yourself a big glass of water right now, and take a few more deep breaths. If you can get outside and get grounded on the Earth's surface, that would be awesome as well, and useful. So until the next time, have a wonderful weekend and be well.